Hi, this is Dr. Saeed Akhlaqpour. As promised, I'm going to show some features of AURIN using uh, the scenario that we talked about in our data visualization workshop. So the scenario goes, you would like to purchase an investment property, a house in Brisbane. Your main objective is to achieve a high rental yield, basically high rental income as a percentage of the property's value. At the same time, you prefer a house in an area with high socio-economic status, and for some reason you want it to be close to the health infrastructure, to hospitals, right? So that's a dummy scenario. Our main goal is basically to um, investigate or demonstrate the features of AURIN for creating geospatial maps. These will be the steps that we'll be taking. So finding the strong socioeconomic areas. The second one would be finding the suburbs, which gives us a high rental yield. And the third one would be to map the locations of the hospitals and try to find areas that are closer to these hospitals, right? All right, so let's start with the first one. So suppose that we want to map areas with high socioeconomic status. As I said, you can use proxies like median income for that area, or CIFA scores, which actually is a better indicator or better proxy for socioeconomic status. If you do a little bit of search on CIFA, you find out what it means. You can either use ABS website or Wikipedia and basically look up what does it refer to. So socioeconomic indexes for areas, or CIFA, assesses the welfare of each community, right? So there are different CIFA indexes. We'll probably use this one, which is the more comprehensive index, talking about advantages and disadvantages of an area. So basically, high CIFA score means higher socioeconomic status. So let's go to AURIN website, aurin.org.au, click on portal login. You can log in using your University of Queensland username and password. That's what I'll be doing. That's my username, that's my password. And that's the AURIN portal. Let us start a new project. So I click on new project here. Let's call it workshop 2019. All right. So it will create a new project for us. We can define area of study. So basically what area we are interested in. Let me click on a sub-level. That would be a state. We are interested in Queensland. We can further refine that area. Maybe use greater capital city areas and only focus on greater Brisbane, right? So that would be the area that we are interested in. Now we have to add some data to our map. And as I told you, there are several data sets already embedded into AURIN. You can find them, you can use them. We'll show later on how you can import data from external data, not from AURIN. But for now, let's look at some of the data that is available within the AURIN. Of course, they are also external. They come from ABS and other sources, but they are already imported into AURIN. So we are interested in CIFA scores. You could enter median income as well. Whatever you are interested in, you just search for it, right? If I search for CIFA, there would be several data sets that talk about CIFA, have CIFA values in them. It is a good idea to basically narrow down your search to an aggregation level, and we are interested in suburbs, or as ABS calls it, statistical areas too, right? So that's how ABS calls the suburb. SA1 would be a portion of a suburb, a smaller area than a suburb. SA2 would what we normally refer to as a suburb. You can go to the ABS website and find out the exact definition, but roughly that's what a suburb is an SA2. So let's search only for that aggregation level, and then you need to really look into these data sets and find out what they are about, what values do they have, and so on and so forth. So probably we can use either, I actually usually sort them by end date to make sure that we get the latest stats and data. Probably you can use either this one or this one. They both seem to have CIFA scores. Let me try the first one. So we have SA2 code. Let's include the name as well. So you are choosing the columns that or the fields that you want to see in the data sets, right? In your data sets, and we are interested in CIFA scores. Probably this is the score that we are interested in, right? So so I click on this field to be included as a column in my data set. There are other data available if you are interested, but let's keep it simple and only include this column, basically this field. If I click on add, it will show me an error probably. So when it asks you for filter values, basically you need to specify a value for importing the data. So here the filter value is the year, and I specify 2016 as the year that I'm interested in, and I click on add and open. And this will be the data. So we have the SA2 code, SA2 name, and then the CIFA scores ranging from 1 to 10, 10 being a very high socioeconomic status area. Now suppose that I want to basically put this data on a map, right? So I click on here in the Visualize tab, I click on Map, Charts, and Graphs. Map Visualizations, I'll talk about the other one later on. So let's click on Map Visualizations. Choropleth basically means that you color your map based on an attribute. So I select choropleth. I select my data sets. I only have one data set for now. The attribute would be the CIFA score, basically. I want to color my map based on the CIFA scores. You can specify how many categories you want in your map. I actually can use pre-classified because the CIFA scores are from 1 to 10. I just use the same 1 to 10 values for the mapping. So it shows as 11 because probably some of the values are unavailable. So we have missing values as well, and 1 to 10. Let's click on add and display. So basically, this is a map that shows the areas with high and low socioeconomic status. So areas with CIFA 1 would be areas with low socioeconomic status, underprivileged areas. And so you can see them on the map, maybe interpret them, maybe check if that makes sense. And then we have areas with CIFA score of 10, which have the highest socioeconomic status, right? So most areas with highest advantage, right? So you can look into them in Durapili, Tuong, Taringa. They all have CIFA scores of 10, right? Since in this scenario we were interested in areas with high or strong socioeconomic areas or areas with high CIFA scores, let's actually keep only, suppose that we want to keep only areas with CIFA scores of 9 and 10, right? Or should I just say 10? Yeah, let's keep 9 and 10. How do I do that? I will filter this data set and only keep the values of 9 and 10. How do I do that? So this is my data set. I want to only keep areas of 9 with CFA scores of 9 and 10. I go to Analyze, Tools, right? So I click on Tools. I click on Data Manipulation here. And then I click on Dataset Attribute Filter. So basically, I want to filter my dataset. I select my dataset. I only have one dataset for now. The attribute would be the CFA score, right? So I select this one as well. Operator would be greater than or equal to 9, right? So I want CFA scores that are greater than or equal to 9. So CFA scores of 9 and 10, I want to keep these. I click Add and Run. And it will create a new data set for me, right? So this is the new data set. It only contains the areas, the SA2 areas with CFA scores of 9 and 10. So suppose that I want to only show them on the map. Let's close these ones. So once again, this is the new data set, a filtered data set that was generated for me. Let me hide this existing choropleth map. Let's hide it. And then let's create a new one. I click on map, I click on map visualization, choropleth. This time I only select, I select the new data sets, the one with 9 and 10 CFA scores. The attribute would be this field, this column. And let's once again use pre-classified. So I have 9 and 10 and missing values. So I have 3 classes. Let's click on add and display. So basically, these are the areas with high CFA scores. You can change the appearance of these on the map. So I leave it to you to basically play with the features on AURIN. I click on this range, for example, and click on edit. I can suppose that I want them to be to have higher opacity, basically to be more visible in the map. Let me move the opacity a bit higher and see what it will do. So yes, now they are more visible now. All right, so let's keep them. So that's our first step. So we have CIF areas in Brisbane with high CFA scores of 9 and 10. Let's stop this recording and I'll show the rest of the scenario in the second video.